So as 2008 literally just about comes to a close, I just looked at the clock. It's 11:32 here in Treasure Island, Florida. So as 2008 comes to a close, I thought I would share some information with everybody here, everybody in the room, and everybody who's watching this video. As you know, there's a lot of troubled times in the country right now. There's a lot of troubled times in the world, and I've spent the last 18 years of my life traveling on seminar circuits, and so I've watched literally thousands and thousands of people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, all to try and solve their dilemma to reach happiness, to be happy. And it's actually turned into not alone a very expensive situation with reading books and going to many different seminars and things, but it also seems to be an enigma. It almost seems like it's an unattainable thing, this happiness thing. And of course, what you're seeing now in the U.S., and it shows up pretty much daily in the news, is somebody in their quest for happiness and financial fulfillment has done something that's unethical, that's dishonest, that's out of integrity, and it's almost as if they don't notice. It's almost as if people are oblivious that virtues actually are a pathway to happiness. So I study all different kinds of techniques and all different kinds of theories. And so recently I came up with what I call your point of reference. So everybody that's sitting here right now has a point of reference. That would be like their center of gravity, or if you were a sailor and you were on a sailboat and there wasn't any electronic navigation equipment, the way you navigate across the ocean is using the North Star. So let's say every human being has a point of reference. So they navigate through their lives with this point of reference. And that point of reference basically sets the stage for whether they're happy or unhappy. It has to do with every conversation they have. It has to do with every facet of their life is based on their point of reference. Well, interestingly enough, I've studied over the last 6 or 7 years that most people's point of reference for themselves is negative. So it's almost as if people are searching for financial wealth because they think it's a pathway to happiness. But what they first need to do is they need to realize emotionally why they're not wealthy already, why they have to keep studying material to get wealthy, when first what they need to do is look at why they're not wealthy already. What is it about themselves that their point of reference says, I'm not worthy, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not sexy enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not lovable. Because you see, as I've tested this all over the world and I posed the question, what is your point of reference? And my perception is that most people's point of reference about themselves is they have a negative point of reference for themselves. So just in the area of forgiveness alone, if you go through your life and you don't forgive yourself and other people, it is very, very difficult to be financially wealthy. And see, the real goal isn't financial wealth anyway. The real goal is to be rich. And that is not in the sense of monetary value. That's being rich. Your life has a richness. It's almost, if I said to you, so how many people get up in the morning just to watch the sun rise, purposely to watch the sunrise? Because that is the essence of richness, watching the sunrise and watching the sunset. People accidentally watch the sunrise, but not on purpose. I get up to, on purpose, watch the sunrise, and most of the time I take pictures of the sunrise. So you have to ask yourself right now, as you go into 2009, what is your point of reference for yourself? What point of reference do you have? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Are you attractive, or are you looking for everything that's wrong? As you go through your life, who do you need to forgive? Yourself and other people. Who? And the third thing is, how difficult is it for you to be honest all the time, even when it's very inconvenient to be honest? difficult is it for you? Because those three things right there, the ability to be honest all the time, not just when it's a convenience, the decision, and it's a decision to forgive yourself and other people all the time, not just some of the time. And what do you see when you look in the mirror? What do you really see when you look in the mirror? Do you see an attractive person, or do you see something less? Because those three things right there, they control your future. Money doesn't control your future. Those three things control your future. Once you decide about those three things, creating financial wealth then just becomes a learning process. That's all. But you can learn all the skill sets you want to learn until you figure out those three things about yourself, what your point of reference is when you go out into the world. Until you figure out what that point of reference is. I mean, if you leave this room tonight, and everybody that's watching this video, if you sit down, like I said, it's probably 11:45 now, getting close to midnight, you'll probably hear fireworks out the back of my house. If you figure out right now and make some decisions, every time I look in the mirror, I'm going to see an extremely attractive person. When I go out into the world, I'm going to forgive myself and other people always, and I'm going to be honest all the time, even when it's a terrible inconvenience, to be honest, I'm going to be honest. Because those three things set the stage for your life. Because I don't care how much money you have. It doesn't really matter. What really matters is your character. And if you stop and think about it right now, the lack of character in this country, in business, in the government, and the indifference that goes on, this indifference is creating an enormous problem for everybody. So, you can look at yourself, you can look in the mirror and say, well, am I part of the problem or am I part of the solution? Because you're one of the two. If you forgive yourself all the time and you forgive other people, you're part of the solution. If you look in the mirror and you love what you see, you're part of the solution. If you're honest all the time, even when it's inconvenient, you're part of the solution. And right now, what will change 2009 for everybody in this room and everybody in this country is being part of the solution. That is what will change it. So, Happy New Year from Gary King and the Power of Truth. Have an amazing 2009. And remember, the three things that will make 2009 amazing for you are those three things I talked about. Forgive yourself and other people, be honest all the time, and love what you see when you look in the mirror. Happy New Year.